Was Kobe Bryant's death predicted? Yes. We're going to talk about that. First of all, I'm going to tell you where that prediction was made, how it was made, and how this affects you. This is a great opportunity for me to share some things that exist right now, not just about things like Kobe Bryant's death, but just about everything. Get ready. I'm going to talk about remote viewing. Welcome to Landria Unk on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears, live an amazing life. I'm going to supply the tools for you to manifest anything, which makes today an even more exciting subject. Now, when we have some major stuff going on there, you know, accidents, tragedies, fires in Australia, it is an ideal opportunity for us to talk about our world, how we control it, and how we can remedy some of these issues, right? Today, I want to talk about, on the heels of the tragedy, if it is a tragedy, of a helicopter going down wherein Kobe Bryant and his daughter died along with, I guess, 8 other people. I'm not here to discuss if he's a good guy or a bad guy or why he should or shouldn't die. We all are people on a journey here experiencing just being human. But in 2017, Kobe Bryant's death by a helicopter accident was predicted. Unintentionally, this was not done purposefully. It was on Comedy Central, who did remove that cartoon off of their website, so you won't be able to find it. I guess they found it just a little bit disturbing, right? And they wanted to be actually respectful to the families and the people on the helicopter. But let's talk about that. It was a cartoon, and in the cartoon, the characters were trying to be popular, and so they were imitating pro athletes, basketball stars, and Kobe Bryant apparently was clutching all of his awards, got on a helicopter, and went down in a fiery crash. We are constantly doing what's called remote viewing. This is something that exists right now in every single person. If you don't know what remote viewing is, it's actually not just a way of predicting things, but it is a view into what exists right now and in the future, and even the past, because there's no such thing as time. You are, as I talked about in the Kobe Bryant, Why Did He Die? Part 2, we are here as humans, just experiencing, all right? We are just light beings experiencing everything. This happens to be human form that we're experiencing now. We are energy of one thing, just experiencing every possible form that it can be. So, how was that? Did somebody purposely do that, or did somebody have a prediction and wanted to write that? I don't have that answer, but chances are pretty good, no. Chances are pretty good that somebody was sitting there, a writer, trying to come up with an idea, or multiple writers, trying to come up with an idea, and that popped in. They were accessing what exists at that moment in time. Now, somebody just made a comment on my exciting 2020 predictions you must know and said, this is just life coaching, not predictions. And I said, yes, that's the whole point, is that you are always predicting your future. Now, as I spoke about in that last video about Kobe Bryant, we all have our own paths, and we may have chosen before we came here when our exit will be. And that is unavoidable sometimes, not because we don't have control over it, but we chose it. We chose it in advance. And so we came here, we have to follow through with that. Everything that we do up until that point, as we come in as a human and when we leave, is all our choice. We can be beautiful, wonderful people, or we can be destructive and a lower frequency. All of that is not to be judged. There were a lot of comments about Kobe Bryant's a good person. He, had this incident years ago. And I said, the point of these videos is not to judge an individual lest ye be judged, right? We're not here to do that. In fact, when we go into that space, We're going into that dense negative space that doesn't understand what we have access to. We see ourselves as humans. We don't see that we're all students here making decisions. Who's to say if a lie is worse than murder? Because we cannot be created nor destroyed. There is no level of badness, because badness is just judged by us. So somebody might think it's okay to lop off somebody's hand for stealing, and another one would think that that is just the most horrible thing you could do, right? Depending on your beliefs. So we don't want to go into that space. I'm talking right now about everybody, no matter what they do in their lives, has access to remote viewing. So some people will have things come as predictions of the future, and they're constantly connecting to energy. So all you're doing is entangling into that which you may be focused on, or you're opening yourself up and you're not paying attention to some of the things that are coming in. This is what I keep telling you you have access to, and I take you in my courses into this space. And that is, you can access any idea, you can access future events, you can see things going on right now. And remote viewers, what they do is they focus on a coordinate. They don't know what that coordinate represents. It could be just a number. Somebody will have a picture in an envelope and they'll put a number on it. And then they're supposed to focus on that and write what they see. And it's pretty amazing that most people have the ability to write what is in the envelope, the picture or whatever that is in the envelope. Everybody has this ability. Now, you don't have to be psychic because we're all psychic. There are different degrees of that ability, just like some people are more physically coordinated than others, you know, just like basketball players. And then there are people who can just tap into that and learn that because they don't have it naturally flowing in as strong as others, but we always have it going on. I want you to know that you're always having remote viewing capabilities at all time happening, right? Have you ever pictured like a spot, you know, a car spot opening up for you, and sure enough, one just opens up? These are all part of our entanglement in the quantum field. And yes, we are creating that. Now, this is the scary part. Does it exist, or am I creating that? It's a combination of both, all right? So in other words, you can picture something, and our U.S. government has used this for years, used remote viewers to locate certain areas within the globe to see what's there, right? Locating people who are, you know, being held captive, or air bases, or, you know, military equipment and armament. This has been done for years, and I'm pretty sure they're still doing it, even though they probably won't admit that. The whole point is it's so powerful and it's accurate, but we don't listen to it because we want proof all the time. That cartoon was writers using Kobe Bryant, but when they focused on it, we're actually tapping into that actual accident unbeknownst to them. This was not purposeful, right? It's not purposeful, but the thought was them tapping into something in the future that came in as an idea for them that was what they thought was funny at the time. Isn't so funny now. But you are doing this all the time. You can actually develop this ability and see things, and if it's your future, you can change it, right? So if you have gut feelings about certain things, or you are creating, which we're always manifesting, if you're creating your reality at all times, you have the ability to change those thoughts and change that forecast that you have in your head that you keep seeing, right? And a lot of it's negative. Everything's going on at the same time. So yes, there are things that exist right now. This is what powerful real psychics, which there are really actually very few out there that are the real deal, real psychics will tell you. And I had one that told me some pretty crazy amazing things. She said, everything that I tell you right now is what I see at this moment in time. She said, if you do not follow through with these things, they will not come to pass. In other words, she told me that I would write my book. I wrote a best-selling, award-winning book, and it was a television movie. She predicted that, by the way. So what she told me is it won't happen if I sit there and say, oh, okay, I'm going to be a bestseller, I'm going to have this book. Well, if I'm not writing the book, it won't happen. I didn't actually remember that when I wrote the book, by the way. It wasn't until years later I said, oh my gosh, this woman has predicted so many things. She saw the moment in time. It is all interchangeable, and I'm going to talk about Dolores Cannon in my next video about that future always changing. A lot of people are like, you didn't predict the future. I said, my point is we're doing it at all times, and we can change it. So things that were supposed to happen here on this planet that were very negative have not happened because we are raising our frequency. This is why it's so important for us to focus on personally be better people. Quit judging that person over there you say is bad. First of all, we don't know those circumstances at all. And if anybody's telling the truth and what the real story is, it is not ours to judge, right? How many people have a different perspective on things? It's a very personal experience. It's a very personal journey. What we must do is to look at ourselves and say, what's going on here? Because my judgment right now is a very low frequency negative energy, which means that I'm here being the problem. I'm part of the problem just by judging somebody else, whether they are right or wrong or bad or good. Great. You know what? We're not walking on water yet. So my point to you is we must end all judgment, all negativity. We can tap into that power and that entanglement that tells us what's happening, what opportunity we can bring in, what would we like to manifest, focusing on that, making it happen. You're that powerful. So remote viewing is many times you are picking up on that which you see, you can envision. We are that very energy of which those people wrote that cartoon, right? That's pretty scary, but it's real stuff. You are a part of the real stuff. We are one energy. That is not separate from you. You absolutely can tap into the power to create whatever life you want within this role that you chose. And again, Kobe Bryant, every single person made decisions about who they are when they came here, what their challenges would be. And your challenge may be to stop judging other people's problems and judging other people's frailties and mistakes. But I don't believe they're mistakes. I believe people have gone into situations and not followed through with the higher choices. All right? And that is their choice to play out with other players that also agreed to participate. We get to make changes and choices along the way. I know that's a tough one for some of you to believe. It's, no, these people are victims. Nobody's ever a victim. No one's ever a victim. We are energy experiencing. That's it. So you are tapped into the power of the universe. Start using it because you can remote view. If you want to sit and focus on something, maybe we'll do a session on that. You know, maybe I'll have a remote viewing webinar or something like that. But we can sit and focus on things, and then you can write down what you see, what you imagine, and if you don't like it, and it's yours to change, in other words, you're not infringing on free will, then you can change it. And remote viewing means that you can get information constantly that you're probably getting right now and not paying attention. And this includes dreams too. In fact, remote viewing, sometimes people are going into the theta state, that dreams-like state, where the ego stops chit-chatting and then you open up to what's out there without judgment. Judgment is one of the biggest blocks. Can we stop the judgment? Boy, I'm not here to play God, I'll tell you that, because ye are all gods, creating, experiencing. So I hope you enjoyed this because it's pretty mind-blowing, but it's happening all the time, and it's being used by very powerful people. It's time for you to use it in a very positive way. Remote viewing, you know things, you can create things, you can pick up on stuff, and you can tune into that and everything that exists for you right now and use it for good. Use it to change your life and to manifest anything that you desire within this journey that you chose. So come join me for my monthly webinars. Go to LandryEka.com and you can check out courses, webinars, The Miracle Circle membership that's coming up in February is going to be amazing. We're going to do a lot of this. We're going to actually focus our group attention on changing things, in other words, for positive, because our power can do that. If we will it and wish it, and those who want to receive it, receive that power, it will change. And we're going to do some of that. And we're also going to learn how do miracles work. How can we change world circumstances, including crime rates, health, wealth, all kinds of things we can do. And we're going to start to not only learn that, we're going to focus on it. And the more we focus on it, the more we have a massive impact on the planet. So what's going to happen? A very small percentage of people that go into that space can actually change the planet frequency. And everybody within their role here on the planet has individual choice. But when you're picking up on those higher frequencies, chances are pretty good you're going to find yourself making a higher decision. You won't always know why. It's because you are part of that one energy that's going to feel that. The collective consciousness of where all ideas, answers, artistry, inspiration, all comes from. All right? So those angels that you pick up on, they're all part of that energy. Everything's just one amazing thing. Mind-blowing. I can't wait till the next video. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Please subscribe. I'd love for you to share this video. I think people, it's been bringing some amazing comments, some great conversations happening. And of course, if you're interested in internet marketing, if you want to get skills in how to create online businesses, this is a free workshop that just gives you information. You unsubscribe if you don't like it. Let's expand, let's explore, let's see who we are and what we can be. It's amazing. Wishing you health, wealth, abundance, and awakening. Namaste.